So, Ian, don't you close your eyes, but everybody else, you might want to just let your eyes drop and close for just a minute and feel it. This is the buttless space. It just is. You just are. There's no but. There's no argument. There's no pushing away. No resistance. Just feel the freedom of this open space. Because that's the feel of it. When I close my eyes, space goes from being relatively experienceable to just an idea, because there's the dark, it could be space, or it could be 2 inches in front of my face. There's a refrigerator. I wouldn't know with my eyes closed. So what we're saying is that it's really, the experiential is really just like this. It's just open, wide open. And it's wide open space, and we're trying to build our little cabin somewhere over here in the corner. But there is no corner, but I'm going to pretend there's a corner. I'm going to make a corner right here. My God, this is my corner. And I'm going to dig deep, quite a foundation. Be safe, secure, unbothered, untaxed in body or finances, for that matter. And it's really only when I recognize that what's talking is the space to the space that it is. And it's really just spaciousness. It's not even space, which would be the opposite of matter, or that which is hallucinating. Hallucinations don't actually have opposites. They're just hallucinations. Things have opposites. This experiencing is not a thing. It's a verb, or it's more verb-like than anything else. What is the experience of, to say empty is kind of being redundant, but I'll say it anyway. What is the opposite of, really, of empty space? Is there really an opposite of that? I can dream an opposite, or what I will call an opposite. I can dream that. But it's never the opposite. There's no opposite to you. There's no runner-up to you. There's no almost you, but not quite. Just you, this very stillness. It feels like we are humans experiencing space. But we are awakeness, experiencing units. That declare they are experiencing other. There is no other. Space is not right or wrong, good or bad, black or white. It's hard to even say that space is. You have the sense of being, or you are the sense of being. And, I don't, at the tiniest little places, that just, that it all falls apart. Can I accept this great unknowing? Can I accept this great unknowing as being my only experiencing? Is that so hard? Is that so bad? The unit wants to work on things, but there are no things to work on in truth. This conditioning, I call it a bundle, but I mean, it has there's no body to it, so it's hard to. It's just conditioning without any firm boundaries at all. Because there's not my conditioning and your conditioning. My conditioning is your conditioning. So we want to let go of any idea that this space is special or locatable. It's neither. This space feels a space, a so-called bit of space, peaceful, if that feels relaxed, that feels like peaceful, I'm trying to go for, that feels peaceful. It's just not telling stories. Hence the importance of the silence. Because there is an opposite to silence, if we can call it story. It's freedom from imagination. It's the freedom to know truth. But to not be able to put our finger on it. Knowing truth has no sides or boundaries. And you can't actually resist the truth. But you can make your life complete misery by trying to resist the simplicity of how it really is. The utter astounding simplicity. Without boundary, how do you have a complaint? Without boundary, where's your judgment? Harsh or kind? This isness is not either this way or that way. It is both this way and that way, because there's the way this way or that way. They're just figures of speech. But they kind of point in the wrong direction. There's no this way. It's just this. And we can call this the way. But this is the way of this experienced moment, which is an experience in time. Which we made up. Where's the opposite to the sky? When it's seen that form is also formless, really formlessness. Where is its opposite? This is not so much the story of that it's the story of oneness. But that only opens on the designation of noneness. There's none, nothing, nowhere, nobody. And then there's the experience, the hallucination. The daydream. The thought. You are without quality other than. There's just this sense of being. So the sensing is a quality. Does that mean that anything is in form? From what I've seen, there is not. I read a thing in New Scientist this week about pigs. About pigs that had been slaughtered. And they take the brains that they treat so that they will not have a flavor of fear, I guess. It's one way to put it. And they're separated from the rest of the pig. It goes into a bucket. And somebody got the idea to test the pig brains for signs of life. After they had been rudely disconnected from body for hours. They are not alive. because there are not senses that we're aware of. But their function, when they introduce blood, their function becomes that of a living pig. The distribution of the blood or whatever. I can't even remember every detail, but it's almost as if the pig was alive. They don't call it alive. But what they said was that, and there's this one guy that's been preaching this stuff for like 20 years, and finally many people are turning to give heed to what he's saying, and they're duplicating it in that scientific method. And what he says is that our idea of life and death, that duality, that's all wrong too. That there's no fine point upon the cessation of experiences. So the idea here is, how dead does a person have to be, for instance, before you remove organs? Because there appears to be, well, there's an indication. I don't know how strong, but there's an indication that it could be reanimated. Unless this is not, if this is not where there's been cancer or some disease that's been eating away and all that. This is with a fresh, clean death, is what they're really speaking of. Because you didn't die, the pig didn't die at any point. It never died. I guess until they stopped giving it blood supply, assuming they have. So you can see how much of that is, it's not how much of that is conditioning. The whole thing is conditioning. And it's our conditioning that when something stops and falls and ceases to breathe, that it's dead, but there's no point of death. I don't mean there's no reason. I mean there's no pinpoint of death. And we need to look at it as a process. And they didn't mention it, but I wonder, would we not do the same with life? So even this most basic, most primary sense of duality, which is what is granted by the sense of being, is false. can Google some words around this. Pig brain's still alive or something like that. You'll come up with it. It'll take you there. Everything that we believe we know, we don't know. We're not sure of everything that we feel sure of. There's no certainty. Thank you for listening.